Welcome back to Bible Wisdom Studio. Today, we're not just telling a story, we're seeing it unfold. We're diving into the first 5 chapters of Exodus, a foundational narrative of struggle, divine intervention, and the birth of a nation. Get ready to witness the epic beginning of Moses' story, from a tiny basket to a burning bush, all brought to life through powerful visuals. If you're passionate about uncovering history and faith through compelling imagery, hit that subscribe button, and let's journey back to ancient Egypt. The oppression begins. Our story opens centuries after Joseph. The descendants of Jacob, now known as the Israelites, have multiplied exponentially, filling the land of Egypt. But a new Pharaoh rises, one who knows nothing of Joseph's legacy, and he sees this thriving community not as a blessing, but as a threat. Visual: a bustling Egyptian city, but with a subtle tension in the air. Israelites, clearly distinct, are shown working alongside Egyptians, but their numbers are striking. Fearing their growing might, Pharaoh decides to deal wisely with them. His solution? Brutal oppression. He sets ruthless taskmasters over the Israelites, forcing them into crushing labor, building massive storage cities like Pithom and Ramses. A wide shot of an ancient construction site. Numerous Israelite laborers, recognizable by their dress, are seen carrying heavy bricks and stones under the watchful eyes of Egyptian overseers, who are gesturing harshly. The scale of the structures is immense. Yet, paradoxically, the more they were afflicted, the more they multiplied. Desperate, Pharaoh resorts to an even more sinister plan. He commands the Hebrew midwives to kill every newborn Israelite boy. But these women, Shiphrah and Puah, feared God more than Pharaoh. They defied his order, saving the infant boys. Enraged, Pharaoh then issues a chilling decree to all his people: every newborn Hebrew son must be cast into the Nile River. Visual: a stark, dramatic scene. A group of Hebrew women, distraught, are looking towards a riverbank where shadowy figures seem to be carrying infants. The overall tone is dark and foreboding, conveying the horror of the decree. The baby in the basket. Amidst this reign of terror, a woman from the tribe of Levi gives birth to a beautiful son. She hides him for 3 months, but knowing she cannot conceal him forever, she makes a desperate, courageous choice. She weaves a basket of papyrus, seals it with tar and pitch, and places her precious child within, setting it adrift among the reeds of the Nile. Visual: a tender, close-up shot of the papyrus basket, delicately woven and sealed, floating gently among tall reeds on the river. Inside, a peaceful infant is just visible. The sun catches the water, creating a serene but poignant atmosphere. His older sister, Miriam, watches from a distance. By divine providence, Pharaoh's own daughter comes down to bathe at the river. She spots the basket, and her heart is moved with compassion when she sees the crying baby. Miriam, quick-witted, offers to find a Hebrew wet nurse. Miraculously, the baby is brought back to his own mother to be nursed. When he grows, Pharaoh's daughter adopts him, naming him Moses, because I drew him out of the water. Visual: Pharaoh's daughter, adorned in royal Egyptian attire, stands by the river. Her hand is extended towards the basket, which a servant is retrieving. She looks with a mix of surprise and pity at the infant inside. Behind her, a young Miriam discreetly observes Moses' flight. Years pass. Moses grows up in the splendor of Pharaoh's court, but his heart remains with his people. One day, he witnesses an Egyptian taskmaster brutally beating a Hebrew slave. In a fit of righteous anger, seeing no one around, Moses kills the Egyptian and hides his body in the sand. The next day, he tries to intervene in a fight between 2 Hebrews, only to have his secret exposed. Hebrew man, VO, who made you a prince and a judge over us? Do you mean to kill me as you killed the Egyptian? Narrator: Moses realizes his life is now in danger. Pharaoh seeks to kill him, and so Moses flees to the remote land of Midian, becoming a shepherd. There, he finds refuge with Jethro, a priest of Midian, eventually marrying his daughter Zipporah and starting a family. Visual: Moses, now older and dressed in simpler, nomadic clothing, is seen tending a flock of sheep in a rugged, desert landscape. A well or small settlement is visible in the distance, conveying his new, humble life in Midian. The burning bush encounter. Decades pass. Moses is leading Jethro's flock to the far side of the wilderness, to Horeb, the mountain of God. And there, he encounters the miraculous. Visual, a close-up on a rugged, rocky landscape, with a distinctive, thorny bush at its center. The bush is vividly aflame, but astonishingly, it is not being consumed. The light is ethereal and otherworldly. God, VO Moses. Moses. Do not come near. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place on which you are standing is holy ground. God reveals himself as the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He tells Moses that he has seen the affliction of his people in Egypt, heard their cries, and has come down to deliver them. And Moses, the shepherd, is to be his instrument. God, VO, come now, therefore, and I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. Moses, overwhelmed and intimidated, questions his own ability. Who am I, that I should go to Pharaoh, he asks. And when he inquires about God's name, he receives the profound and eternal answer. God, VO, I am who I am. Say this to the people of Israel, I am has sent me to you. Visual, a reverent shot of Moses, perhaps from behind, kneeling or prostrating himself before the burning bush, his face hidden in awe and fear. The light from the bush bathes him in a divine glow. Scene 5, the confrontation and hardening. Armed with a newfound divine commission and miraculous signs, his shepherd's rod turning into a serpent, and his hand becoming leprous and then whole again, Moses returns to Egypt with Aaron. They gather the elders of Israel, who believe and worship God. Visual, Moses and Aaron, holding the shepherd's rod, stand before a group of Israelite elders. The elders look on with expressions of hope and reverence as Aaron speaks. The rod subtly glows or pulsates. Then, Moses and Aaron stand before Pharaoh. Moses, thus says Yahweh, the God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast to me in the wilderness. Pharaoh, who is Yahweh, that I should obey his voice and let Israel go? I do not know Yahweh, and moreover, I will not let Israel go. Pharaoh's response is immediate and chilling. He doesn't just refuse, he intensifies their suffering. He commands the taskmasters to no longer provide straw for the brickmaking, but to still demand the exact same quota of bricks. Visual, Egyptian taskmasters are seen cruelly pushing Israelite laborers. The Israelites are desperately scrambling on the ground, gathering stubble in a dusty, sun-baked landscape. The atmosphere is one of heightened despair and exhaustion. The Israelite officers, caught between Pharaoh's impossible demands and the suffering of their people, are beaten. They cry out to Moses and Aaron, blaming them for making them a stench in Pharaoh's eyes. Even Moses returns to God, distraught, Lord, why have you brought trouble upon this people? Why did you send me at all? The stage is set for a monumental clash. Visual, fade to a thoughtful, calm background or the narrator on camera. Text overlay, the Exodus, a journey of faith and freedom, and what will happen next. And so, our first look into Exodus concludes not with triumph, but with intensified oppression and deep despair. Pharaoh's heart is hardened, and the Israelites' hope seems to wane. But this is not the end of the story, it is merely the prelude to God's mighty intervention. In our next episode, we'll witness the beginning of the plagues, as God unleashes his power against Egypt. What was the most impactful image for you today? Let us know in the comments below. If you're eager to continue this visual journey through the Bible, make sure to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Bible Wisdom Studio for more in-depth explorations. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next chapter.